Let's see some problems based upon the flow net and seepage analysis. So this is the first problem and we need to find out the hydraulic potential at point A. So here the point A is, and we have been given the flow net and we have been given the total height, that is 16 meter. So if the flow net is given, so we know that for all the potential lines the equipotential drop is same. So if we can find out the number of drops, so from that if the total head is divided by the number of drops, so we can find out the single equipotential drop, and then we can see how many equipotential drops are there up to this point and the remaining head. In that way we can find out. So the number of equipotential drops are, we can count the equipotential lines from here. This is the first equipotential line, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So 9 equipotential lines are there, so equipotential drops will be 9 minus 1, that is 8. So the delta H is equal to total head, that is 60, divided by equipotential drop, that is 8. So delta H is 2 meter. So now we need to find out the remaining head at point A. So remaining head is total head minus the head lost up to this point A. So up to this point A, 3 drops are there, 1 2 and 3. So the head lost will be 3 into, and in each equipotential drop 2 meter loss is taking place, so 3 into 2, that is 16 minus 6 is 10 meters. So this is the hydraulic potential at point A. Now this is a previous year gate question. So we have been given this dam and the head of water is given on the both sides of dam, and we have been given the flow net, and we need to find out the seepage in meter cube per day. So there are many redundant things are given in this question, like this 12.5 meter thick, it is not necessary, and this 8.5 meter thickness is given, so that is also not necessary, because we know that the seepage formula is KH NF upon ND, and we know that this formula is derived using a single flow field. So we have used the single flow field, so in that, and the dimension of this is elementary square, so the A by B ratio becomes equal to 1. So other dimensions we don't need here. So this formula is simple. This is the total head because of which flow is taking place. This is the coefficient of permeability. This is number of flow channels and number of potential drops. That's all we need to find out. And this from this formula we calculate the seepage in meter cube per time unit, whatever the time unit is, let's say in meter cube per day, and per meter length of dam, or per meter length of whatever the structure is. So this is seepage comes out in per meter length, and we are given the length also, so we can find out the total seepage. So just K is given, so we have to find out this H, NF and ND. So H is the head difference between upstream and downstream. So in the upstream the head is 9.6 meter, and in the downstream the head is 0.6 meter. So the difference is 9 meter. And NF is equal to, we can count the flow channels. So for that first we will count the flow line. So from here if we count, this is also a flow line, this impervious bed. So 1 2 3 4 5, and the bottom of this structure also, so 6. So number of flow channels will be 6 minus 1, that is 5. And similarly number of potential drops, so we can count the number of equipotential line, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So equipotential drops will be 9 minus 1, that is 8. So now we have everything. So the total discharge lost in seepage will be, K is given as 0.003 0.0013 mm per second, so meter per second में 10 to the power minus 3, and K H is 9 meter, NF is 5, ND is 8, and so this is giving the seepage per meter length and multiplied by the length is 90 meter. So from here we'll get the total seepage. So it comes out to be, sorry, this, and it is asked in the question to find out the seepage in a day, but the unit of this K is, after converting it, is in meter per second. So we have to multiply it by 90 into 3600 for hour and 24 for a day. So from here we'll get the seepage in one day as 56.867 meter cube. This is the final answer. This is a good question. And so here, this is the downstream of our earth dam, and on these points P and R, two piezometers are inserted. So the head in the piezometer inserted at R is 100 mm above the head of the piezometer that is inserted at P. So in simple language, the difference in piezometric head between P and R is 100 mm, and the location of this is one point Q is given, that is 500 mm below the P and 500 mm above the R. So Q is between P and R, and we need to find out the effective stress at Q. So seeing this piezometric head difference, the piezometric head at the point below the Q is greater than the piezometric head above the point that is P. So the flow will be taking place upwards. So in that case, effective stress, we know that the effective stress decreases. So how the effective stress is given? So effective stress is the gamma saturated times height. So from this ground level, this height is 2 meter, and minus pore water pressure, this is the total stress, minus pore water pressure will be gamma W times, so what is the same depth, that is H, and minus it will decrease by IH gamma W, as we saw the case of upward seepage. So this can be written as, this IH gamma W is also equal to small h by capital H times H gamma W, that is small h gamma W. So small h here is the head remaining up to that point. So the total head between R and P is 100 mm. It means that when the flow takes place from R to P, 100 mm head loss takes place simultaneously. So a head loss of 100 mm is dissipated between R and P, and this point Q is between R and P. So the head loss up to this point will be HL is equal to total head, that is 100 mm is equal to 0.1 meter divided by the length of flow, that is 500 plus 500. The total length of flow is 1 meter times the length up to this point, so that is 0.5 meter. So from here head loss is 0.1 upon 2 meter is 0.05 meter. So putting all these values here, we have been given the unit weights also. So we put the all values, gamma saturated, so here it can be written as 18 minus 9.81 into 2, that is 2 meter. So for effective stress we can simply write this part as gamma submerged times the height. We need not write this total stress minus pore water pressure, and minus IH gamma W, we can write it as 0.05 times gamma W is 9.81. So I have replaced it with H gamma W. So solving this, effective stress comes out to be 15.89 kilonewton per meter cube. So that is the answer. Next question, this is of sheet pile. So two things are asked in this question, that is the seepage loss in meter cube per day per meter length of the wall and the factor of safety against piping failure. So we know that the possibility of piping is just on the downstream side, so we have to calculate the factor of safety here. So seepage is simple. We saw the formula Q is equal to KH NF by ND, and what is the H here? H is 10 minus 1.5 meter, that is 8.5 meter, and NF we can again find out. So flow lines are 1, 2, 3, 4, and this sheet pile also, so 5 flow lines. So flow channels will be 5 minus 1, that is 4, and equipotential drops are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, I missed this one. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So equipotential drops will be 9 minus 1, that is 8. And so just putting this value here, so seepage loss will be K is 0.09 meter per day, 0.09 into total head is 8.5 meter, and NF by ND is 4 by 8. It comes out to be 0.38 meter cube per day per meter length of the wall. So this is the first part, and in the second part it is asking the factor of safety against piping. So for that, let's first calculate the critical hydraulic gradient. So factor of safety, we know it is given as critical hydraulic gradient divided by the actual hydraulic gradient. So critical hydraulic gradient, we know that it is given as G minus 1 upon 1 plus E. We are using this formula because we have been given the value of G and E. So that is 2.7 minus 1 divided by 1 plus 0.85, so it comes out to be 0.919. And so the actual hydraulic gradient, we know that it is given as H by length of flow. So delta H here will be the potential drop, and we know that in all these flow channels the potential drop is same. So if we can divide the total head by the equipotential drop, so we will get the delta H. So total head is 8.5 meter and potential drops are 8. So 8.5 by 8, that is our delta H. And length of flow here, it is given as 3 meter because piping occurs just at the downstream side of this any hydraulic structure. So because here the flow lines are emerging just vertically, so the length is here is given as 3 meter. So the actual hydraulic gradient will be 8.5 by 8 into 3, that comes out to be 0.354. So factor of safety is equal to I critical divided by I actual, it is equal to 0.919 divided by 0.354. So it comes out to be 2.59, that is equal to 2.60. This is the factor of safety. So this is it for this topic. See you next time.